Just wanted to scare you. Hi, fans. Thanks for clicking on the dreaded D Rose report. Alright. After Raw ended, well, let me know what you thought about Raw yesterday. I like that. I like surprises. Anyway, after Raw ended at Miami last night, the WWE crew attended to Justin Roberts, Jerry Lawler, Matt Striker, and everyone else who was laid out. The feeling is that the angle went down tremendous. The entire crowd was buzzing on the way out. More people stuck around longer than usual. Others, some did leave a few minutes into the third hour, but I saw, this is the guy who wrote this, what he observed anyway. He said, I saw some of the early NWO angles years ago, and this was definitely had that live feeling. So I guess a lot of fans liked it too. Alright, it was announced on Raw in Miami to a live crowd that WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view will indeed be returning after all. The show will take place November from the American Airlines Arena, Miami. Tickets go on sale this Friday. Apparently they probably couldn't settle on a different name, so they just went in and went with the old standard. Gail Kim versus Alicia Fox and Zack Ryder and Primo takes on Goldust and Yoshitatsu. They were all taped before Raw last night for this Thursday's Superstar. And there was supposedly no dark match on Raw in Miami, but the Dude Busters made an appearance. Guess instead of having a match, that would just thrill everybody to see them. They came out to cut a promo, but ended up arguing about who was the better, and then they ended up getting in a fight. Chris Masters came down and cleaned house. Maybe it was a half-ass match. Trent Beretta, Clayton Croft made up on their way back. Oh, isn't that wonderful? His segments were not well reviewed, but Quentin Rampage Jackson said he had a great time at Monday Night Raw with his 18 castmates and once in the WWE mix. Anyway, it was like, he said, I was like a kid today. He says, I have not been happy this past weekend, but meeting my childhood heroes and making new friends was all I needed to get himself back. Tweeted Rampage about the experience of working at the WWE Raw show. Said, I will tell you though, every morning it's late here, and I'm still on tour, and I will let you know what I'm doing so y'all can come and see him and whatever. He also added, everybody was cool. There were a bunch of big kids like me doing what they love. Big Show was funny. He said he showed me a choke slam. Says, I want it. I want in. Anyway, Rampage on the UFC headliner. Most recently lost to Rashid Evans in the main event of UFC 114, which is expected to rank one of the organization's most purchased pay-per-views of all time. He can be seen in the A-Team, of course, along with Liam Nilsson and Bradley Cooper, Shardo Copley. WWE, by the way, released a new T-shirt of the Hart Dynasty, and if you missed it, WWE's upcoming movie with Randy Orton has been changed. The name, that is. That's What I Am. That's the name of it. The previous title was Big Red, and WWE recently trademarked That's What I Am name. Didn't Popeye used to sing that all the time? Maybe he didn't. As noted before, WWE working on the new John Cena DVD, and the release of the DVD is going to be timed with the release of the theatrical movie that he's going to be in, Legendary, starring John Cena. John Morrison, he was back in action after being away from the ring due to an ankle injury. Morrison worked the Raw live events this weekend, facing The Miz and R-Truth in a triple threat for United States title, and at Saturday's event, Morrison defeated Miz in the action. F4W newsletter says, in fact, that Michael Cole was the only one to escape the NXT invasion on Raw last night. Could mean that it's a part of a storyline, and there's been talk of moving forward with Cole as a heel. Now, Cole's going to have to be awful good as good actor as a heel, because man, he's so, I don't know, he's just kind of like a little child, it seems like to me, but All of the NXT rookies #1s were praised backstage for last night's Raw for the work in the invasion angle. Vince McMahon, Stephanie, Michael Hayes are said to have joined the recent angle and the invasion. Bryan versus Michael Cole, and the segment where the pros got on the mic last week before Wade Barrett was announced as the winner. I guess they're getting all excited. Well, it's good they're pushing those guys, though. They just can't really just let them go. They are good wrestlers. Evan Bourne's push last week came partly due to John Cena went to Vince McMahon and basically told him that the company was dropping the ball but not pushing Bourne. Hey, he could listen to the info deal here in the news and the report. I've always said that, man. They've been ignoring that guy. You don't have to just listen to Cena. Listen to the guys that click on this report. They'll tell you on the comments. Another part of the reason that Bryan and Cavill coming up to the main roster, WWE wants to condition fans to accept the smaller guys and main eventers. And we will, as long as they're good wrestlers, good wrestlers. We'll take. I don't care how big they are. There's reports that WWE officials are upset that Chris Jericho's over his new role as game show host on ABC. Apparently, WWE told Jericho last week they wanted him back out of the show, but he talked them into letting him stay. Of course, they're probably just thinking it's going to be a timing problem there. As noted before, Mark Fernstein of USA's Royal Pains will be the special guest host next week on Raw. WWE's websites noted that SmackDown superstar Big Show will be hosting the Fernsteins on his show next week. Show is going to be appearing in an upcoming episode of Royal Pains. Well, I don't know if it's next week or not. Let me see. Yeah, it says next week. Triple H is currently in New Orleans filming his first movie, WWE movie, The Chaperone. Word is Triple H is going to be there, I guess, for the next 3 weeks filming. And there's talk that Triple H will be returning around SummerSlam in August. And apparently there was not an order to mention UFC on last night's Raw that featured UFC star Rampage Jackson as one of the guest hosts. Bella Twins did a skit backstage with Jackson and only referred to him as an MMA fighter. No plugging UFC, I guess. Joe Henning, now known as Michael McGillicuddy on WWE NXT, said the following about his new name. Said a lot of folks are asking why, let's face it, he says, Michael McGillicuddy is the next generation of WWE star and the next world champion. While on the other hand, Joe Henning is simply the son of Mr. Perfect, and I will make a mark in WWE on NXT myself, not by my name. I kind of thought that'd be a little bit of a disadvantage to the other guys if they didn't have a heck of a father like he had. So now the voting would probably be too much in his direction, but we all know, but you can't change that face unless you grow a beard. WWE will take this week's SmackDown and premiere of NXT Season #2 at St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa Bay, Florida. No match has been announced for either show yet, but it was going to be interesting to see how WWE tapings this week after last night's NXT Invasion goes on Raw. See how they kind of connected. Officials from Miami, Florida are pushing to bring WrestleMania to the city in 2012. WrestleMania itself would be held at the Sun Life Stadium, I guess, while fan access would be held at Miami Beach Convention Center, and the Hall of Fame show and Raw that week held at the American Airlines Arena. Sun Life Stadium could hold around 70,000 people. They were originally going to have it at, I think earlier last year they were going to mention it about Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis, but then I don't know what happened then. Hall of Famer, I got to get off here real quick. Hall of Famer Ricky Steamboat's been working WWE developmental as a trainer this past week. WWE is looking for another trainer to work FCW. Dennis Condrey of the Midnight Express fame has worked as tryout trainer recently, but word is that he wasn't hired. But he's been down there working for a while, I know. Hey, I better get off here before I get cut. Thanks for clicking. I gotta go.